Welcome everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Peachy Pod. Today I bring to you the final cog of the Peachy ownership team and the self-proclaimed second half of the best SMGO in Peachy, the main boss herself, Jazz. How you doing today, Jazz?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I am not too bad. One of the kids is in bed, the other one's awake, but apart from that, I'm having a pretty good day. The weekend is upon us. Lots of good times ahead.
Yes.
So you're obviously the final member of the ownership team that's coming on to join me today. Later on, we'll be jumping in, hoping that you can fill the gaps that the other two have missed out. Because I feel like there's a bit of a different story that you're going to give me compared to what Liv and Ludo have given me as well. So I think me, along with everyone else in PG and everyone else who's watching, will be quite excited to delve in to see what you've got to say.
Yeah, I think we all have like our own different stories to how it started, which is quite interesting.
Yes, we'll finally get into later who slid into whose DMs, but we'll save that for later on. So the first segment of the pod, I keep it the same with everyone. It's all Call of Duty related because that's the main reason why we're here currently. So why did you start playing Call of Duty?
Oh God. So I think it's going back to this is showing my age here now. The original Modern Warfare 3. And
Okay.
I used to split screen with my brother. I always used to see him playing and I used to bug him to say, like, can I play? Can I play? And then I got my Xbox 360 on the end of Modern Warfare 3.
Okay.
And then I didn't start playing comp until I was literally thrown into Ghost GBs, being told to sit on a heady and do not move. I was like, okay. And then it wasn't until Modern Warfare 2, around the same time as Liv, when I started playing like comp.
Right. Okay.
I used to play ranked like religiously with my sister and like Nicole. And then Nicole messaged me one day saying, I've got your trial for a team. This was at 3:00 in the morning.
Okay.
And I'm like, what do you mean a team? I'm like, I didn't even know this existed. And then I was like, I'm not good enough to play in a team. And then that's how it began. And that's when I started teaming with Meg, Lauren, and Savannah on Modern Warfare 2.
Right. Okay. So between original Modern Warfare, so we're talking 2009.
Yeah.
Yeah. So between then and the new Modern Warfare 2, were you still playing in that time, or was it just kind of on and off?
Yeah, I was still playing. I had a break in World War II because I could not stand that game. It was shocking.
Don't blame me. Yeah.
But other than that, I literally pub stomped and played ranked religiously. I think Modern Warfare 3, I literally ran around playing all or nothing and gun game.
Okay. Fair enough. So you got into basically Call of Duty from watching your brother play and then playing with your sister and a few others. Is that right?
Yeah, literally just playing ranked.
Oh, okay. So again, it's always fascinates me like how people like start getting into things. Like for me, like I just saw the game, I enjoyed it, and like I started playing on my own, and then I kind of like branched into like finding other people to play with, whereas like, you went in and started playing with people already, so that's like it's a whole different experience that you had than what I had, for example, which is just wild. So you mentioned obviously playing ranked and playing comp. Do you have a favorite competitive team?
See, like going back to Ghost, I used to watch like CDL religiously and it was Optic, but I cannot say I've watched it in these past few years I'd still say Optic, but it has to be Optic.
It's gotta be.
Can't be any other team.
I mean, I say this every episode, but I mean, I've been following Optic since they left Optic, became Apex for a European event, and then went back to Optic. Now that is showing my age, but yeah. So everyone's like, "Oh, you're an Optic fanboy." Like, damn right, I was there at the beginning.
It can't be anyone else.
Do you? Oh, so I have a feeling I might know the answer to this one, but do you have a favorite comp player?
I do indeed, and it's got to be one person, and that's Scump.
Of course, got to be the king. Got to represent the king. So you've played obviously quite a wide variety of Call of Duty titles, pub stomping in some, ranked in some others. Do you have a favorite weapon?
See, it's hard to choose this one. I've been thinking about this because obviously you asked Liv and Ludo the same question. I've had some intel. I would say either the VMP off Black Ops 3
Ooh, yeah.
or going back to Ghost with the MTAR. Mapping people with that MTAR was a good feeling.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, wasn't a fan. I prefer the Remington myself. If we're going to go back to Ghosts, but no, the I can't remember what you said now.
VMP.
Oh yeah, the VMP.
That was just insane.
I do like the fact they've brought that back as like a blueprint for the Jackal. I can't use it, but it's nice to see that it's back in Black Ops 6. I keep saying, I'm like, I really want to use it, but like, nope, blueprints are banned. Can't use them in leagues. So it's like, oh, it's so annoying. But we rolled. That's fine. So you obviously know. Well, the next question I'm going to ask you is, again, across all the titles you've played, you can break it down into either pub stomping and comp if you wanted to, but your favorite map.
Ooh. I'm trying to think here because I've played so many. I think I might go Fringe off Black Ops 3.
Oh, Fringe. That was the wait, hang on. Fringe?
It was the one with
it's like a Z
train
shape?
down the
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
It's very similar to like Standoff and Crossfire, but just like smaller versions of it. Yeah.
But my favorite like CODs are jetpacks, so like Black Ops 3 was like a really good one for me.
I gotta say, out of all the jackpot genre, Black Ops 3 was definitely the best in my opinion.
It was.
I know Tactical Rab keeps going on about in every single video that he puts out, but he is right. It was such a clean jetpack game, and I didn't have to worry about breaking a controller as well, because Advanced Warfare went through so many sticks, just like trying to boost sideways and stuff.
Yeah, see, Advanced Warfare was that the first jetpack?
Yeah, it was,
wasn't it?
yeah.
And I think it got so much hate because it was so different. But I really liked Advanced Warfare as well.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was a great game, but it was just, it was so annoying to use and all the sticks and like, But yeah, I just thought, Black Ops 3, everything was so fluid with how you moved, you slid, you wall run, you could just boost up in the air. It was just so nice. Where I think Advanced Warfare was very kind of, I mean, there was no wall running, but it was like a lot of like, it was very quick movements. Like
it was, and I think it was like the boost was like really quick when you actually jetpacked.
Yeah, that's it. I think the Black Ops 2 with the whole like fluidity just made it just perfect. In my opinion.
It did.
Chef's kiss on that.
It needs to come back.
Well, rumor has it, the Black Ops 7 or whatever it's going to be called, there is going to be some kind of like jumping mechanic in there.
I hope so.
So we'll wait and see. So that's, thank you very much for all that information about you from Call of Duty standpoint. But do you have any other gaming interests?
See, I live and dream COD, so I don't really play, but like when I do go off COD, because it does happen, like the World War II stage, I literally religiously play Destiny.
Oh, love that.
I spent hours on that game. Minecraft, I could spend hours on Minecraft. I'm like a geek.
All right, we're gonna roll back to Destiny real quick because I am a hardcore Destiny player myself. What class were you?
You're asking me questions now because it's going back a long time ago.
I should put this on the questions I sent you, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
To be fair, I didn't expect you to say Destiny. That's why it threw me, and I was like, "What? You play Destiny? Like one of my favorite games of all time? Oh my god, I'm now invested in this even more."
Yeah, like I spent hours on that game. I was still a noob at games then, but I'm pretty sure I was a hunter. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The master race. Me and you are in one on that one, Jazz. So my respect levels for you have just gone up a little bit higher now, so that's even better.
I do need to play that game again because it is like such a really good game.
Well, we'll come back to that.
I fixate on games. Yeah.
It's in a bit of a rough place right now because
it is.
For anyone who doesn't know, I'm gonna go delve into this quickly while we're on the subject because it's something that's very passionate of mine. So for anyone who doesn't know, Destiny had this very 10-year long project of a game, started on the consoles, Went on there for 3 years, then went to multi-platform consoles and PC for the remaining 7 years. The storyline has eventually just ended now, and it's kind of just like, oh, that's it. So it's a game that used to average 250, 200,000 players a day. It's now down to like 50. It's like the drop off is wild. And that's just because there's nothing to do, because there's nothing to look forward to. But the new arc, apparently it's another 10-year arc, is coming out in end of this year sometime. So I'm hoping that brings people back to it, because I'm excited to see what they do. But they got to earn back the fans now, which is the going to be the trouble part.
Sounds exciting.
Not sponsored by Bungie or Sony at all when I'm saying this. I was just very passionate about the game, that's all. But if you did want to get back on there, Jazz, do you know what we could do? We could do like a raid with noobs. Oh, that could be fun. Just take a bunch like you and 5 others through and teach you how to do a raid. That would be quite fun, I feel.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, we'll brainstorm that some more. Anyway, moving on before we get carried away, because we're not here to talk about other games. We're here to talk about you and you and the Peachy story, basically. So I've sent you these questions already. First of all, let's clear up and we'll fill the gaps. Who slid into whose DMs?
So, my story's quite long for this, but
right, okay, I got a drink.
Say it all. Yeah, you might need a bigger drink.
Sit back, guys. We're in for it now.
So when I first started playing comp, I joined 0 to 1. I will name the org because it's a part of my journey. So I joined that with Megalor and Savannah. So I then worked up to be management in that org. And then I pretty much, at the time when I joined, there was 1 girls team, 1 boys team. That was it.
Right.
And then I went on, because I came management, I went on to build the EU side. So I think I had like 5, 6 teams at the time.
Okay.
And then obviously, as Liv said, we just wanted to do ideas and other stuff like that, where we just couldn't do them because we weren't owners. And then I pretty much said, I'm going to, like, I spoke to Ludo a few times. Like, I met Ludo through 8s, that was it.
Yeah.
He played with D for a tournament and then came into 8s, and I can confirm he was shit. Back then, he was shit. He's improved massively. And then I think Ludo was in Raspberries at the time, and we exchanged DMs, and I was getting frustrated in Z2O because I just felt like I wasn't being heard. And especially with I was the main management of the EU side. I've got no bad words to say about them. It's just I felt like I could do more.
Yeah.
So we exchanged DMs with Ludo, and just the hint was there, shall we start an org? And it came up a few times where it was just shut down, and I'll be like, I'll think about it.
Yeah.
And then one day I think something happened, and I was just like, oh, let's do it, kind of thing. And then I did message Liv. I was like, we're starting an org. She had no idea, bless her. And I was just like, we're doing it now. Because I was planning on to, as management there, I basically said I'll play the season out because I didn't want to leave them in the lurch mid-season.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll let it ride out and then I'll leave at the end so you're not left in the lurch. But anyways, I was kicked, so...
Ooh.
That's why it happened so quickly.
Fair enough. That makes sense. That makes sense. So how did you get into the org first? Did that come from when you got a trial to go onto a team? Is that how you got into there first? Okay. That kind of clears that up, because I was wondering how you initially got into being on because back in the day, as you know, we've been around a while. When people say oh, I've got your trial on a team, didn't necessarily mean that you were going to be on an org. Essentially, it was just a team, a team of just be a group of people playing together.
Yeah. So
that they were part of that org. I'm not going to say the name, even though I have nothing against them. I'm not going to say the name.
I mean, I just said it, so
that's true. That's true. So you joined. You try. Obviously, you passed the trial, which is the main thing. So well done.
Yeah. Thank you.
What do you think it would have been a different story if you didn't pass the trial? Do you think you would have still ended up here, or would you have just gone a completely different route?
See, I think it's interesting because I think it's all a whirlwind. because like I had no idea any of this happened. Like comp was a thing where leagues played and stuff. I just thought it was CDL and that's it.
Yeah.
And I think like I wasn't too bothered about the trial because I'm like I literally play ranked. That's it. I didn't think I was good enough to play for a team. But then when the trial happened, I got kept on. I was buzzing because obviously it gives you a bit of a thrill about the game and something new as well. But I think generally, if I didn't get put on that team, I would have been like, oh, I'll just go back to playing ranked. So it might not have happened.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, so yeah, so basically, you passing the trial is how we are here today. It's how we're friends, which is mad to think about. It's crazy. So can we confirm that who slid into whose DMs though? Did Ludo slide into yours, or was it vice versa?
He made it sound like there was something going on, but it's not. It's not sliding into my DMs. It was literally. I think Ludo did come into my DMs about the Noctum team when we played Noctum.
Right.
We spoke back and forth, just like hello, how are you and stuff, but it was never anything romantic like it was made out to be.
I wasn't gonna go down that route, so that's fine. I was just saying like it was more the joke, like, oh, so whose idea was it really to get the ball rolling?
I do think it was Ludo's. I think he like joked about it at the beginning, and then I was like on board, and then when obviously the Z2O thing happened, I was like, right, we're doing it. But it was, in fact, I will clear this up because there's been some questions about it and some unhappy peaches.
Okay.
It was, in fact, Robbie who came up with the Peachy name.
Yeah, that was, I was gonna ask the question last week, but I was told to like potentially leave it out. So that's why I just alluded to someone else had mentioned it. So yeah, I'm glad we've got that all clarified now.
Yes.
So Robbie, you told me this a week ago or even a little bit longer, but yeah, you were right, buddy. You were right. So the final part I want to clear up is Liv's grenade. How good was that?
Oh my god. Do you know, I say it to this day, and she said it herself. I think I got attached to that nade somehow. It was literally on Embassy, and I don't exactly remember how it happened because I think I was still new in that team at the start. So like me trialing other people, I'm like, I don't know these people. I don't know what I'm doing still. But then Liv did get told to come on my team because someone else said she wasn't good enough for that team.
Okay.
So we loaded into Embassy. I think I remember there's only me and Liv that was next to the car. Right. And then she literally threw the nade at the car. We were both next to it. We both died. And then she went, ooh. And then we both just started pissing ourselves laughing. And that was like how I met Liv. For a grenade.
Did she pass her trial though?
Yeah, she got put on. So that was when we started growing the EU side and we were bringing in a second female team.
Right.
She got put on the second female team.
Okay, so
because I'll say now, like Liv going back then, she wasn't very good. There was definitely a skill gap, but she has come on like massively. She's put so much work in and like grown so much this year.
Okay. So I know obviously the grenade attaching to you is obviously part of the story, but when did you realize, was that the moment that you realized that we are like a duo,
being the duo?
What moment did you kind of feel like or know that she's my duo?
No, I think so we I can't speak. We regularly did 8s like with the girls all together, and then like we'd play ranked together, and I think me and Liv just eventually like came like that close. We just played ranked with each other every day. We'd wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning and go off at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Literally sit there playing it all day, like playing ranked. And then I think so when I teamed with Meg, Lauren and Savannah, I loved it, but it was too much pressure for me, and I never felt I was good enough to play at their level because they're cracked players.
Right.
So I think eventually I just came to say it like I'm going to make my own team and captain a team.
Yeah.
And then obviously because me and Liv played religiously, I picked up Liv, and then Lucy and D. I found D off ranked as well.
Well, that's a hell of a find as well, finding D on rank, because she is insane.
Yeah.
Don't know
and then I
what don't know
think we
what
just
your
played everything.
your contract with her is, but damn, that must be a good one. 'Cause
Dee will never leave the OGs.
she is nuts.
She is crazy.
Okay, so thank you for that, because that's filling in a lot of your side of the story with regards to like everything that the other two have said, which is great, kind of like to see a perspective from all three of you as points of view.
Yeah.
But you as a person now, again, people in Peachy will know this, but people outside of Peachy may or may not know this. But obviously, you run an org, you have a job, you're an admin for XP as well. So
Yeah.
you've got to deal with obviously in-house org stuff. You're captain. You're on the OGs, as you said. I got corrected yesterday by Liv that she's the captain, not you. So. As I said, you've got to deal with admin stuff in XP, tickets, etc. You've also got to deal with me as well, because I'm a pain. How do you do it?
I have no idea.
just take each day as it comes.
Take each day as it comes, yeah. I think it's just not stressing. Like I say this, but I am like the most stressful person. I will stress at everything. But just being organized, I think, is a big thing of it.
Yeah, delegation, does that come into it as well, or do you just take everything to yourself?
I do generally. I get told off all the time by taking too much on myself because I think if you want it doing, do it yourself. That's my motto.
No, as I say, it's a great motto to stand by. In fairness, and I'm kind of the same, but at points you got to realize that like, yeah, I need help, like helping with this, or like, you know, I'm busy doing this, but this is more important. Can you deal with that? So yeah, that's at least, it's like I say, it's good to hear that you say like you want to do everything yourself, which it shows that how invested you are in everything that you do, which is amazing.
Yeah, I think I couldn't be more grateful for everyone who's on board though, like the management team and the admins. Like they're just amazing. Like whenever I need something doing, they will be straight on it. And I think as much as I think as other orgs, I could be like biased here, but like I feel like it's just, I don't know how to word it. Like they're split, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So management and admins will be separate, like owners will be separate. Whereas I think we are really all a good team that just have so many ideas to bring to the table and actually put them in place.
No, that's fair. That's fair. And talking of ideas, have you got any? I know I tried prying this out of Liv in the last week's episode, but is there any intel you can give us for any potential future things that are coming up?
So I said this to Liv and Ludo that I might go into it, but I'm not sure. There's a lot of ideas, and there is a lot coming up in this next year or two. The only thing I will, obviously I'll stick on the pattern of Liv and Ludo of growth. I think that's the main aim of Peachy, just to grow it. And I really want to send a team to LAN, so we will have a LAN team. I will let you into that gossip.
No, there we go. You heard it here first, guys. Peachy is going to LAN. And if for anyone who is obviously a fan who doesn't have their jerseys, I'm sure the link will be below in the comment section that Pred will put there for anyone who wants to get their jersey to support the team as well. So that's great. So thank you for that. So you mentioned, you know, I suppose the next question is it's almost the same as what I've just asked, but like you've obviously mentioned like sending a team to LAN is going to be, that'd be huge for Peachy. Can't wait to see that happen. But is there any other esports that you'd love to see Peachy take part in?
See, I'd really love to grow the FIFA scene more because I feel like we've got SK in, like obviously she's amazing.
Yeah.
But for more of her sake, just to grow that out a bit more.
Yeah.
And then maybe something like Apex or something. I have no idea about these games, by the way, so I am clueless to talk about it. But I think getting another like esports on board, like Apex or Six Siege, like something like that would be good. Even Rocket League.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many out there that like so many people like get behind in their own like own different way as well, which is like really nice. So I suppose I mean whatever if touch wood something does happen and we do branch into another org, or sorry, not another org, another esport, like it'll have fans, and you know we'll pick up other people just from supporting them there as well. So that's what we want. That also ties into the growth, which is huge.
Yeah, definitely.
And to wrap it up about the whole everything regarding Peachy so far. What I didn't ask the other two this, and I can't believe I didn't ask them because it's such a great question. What's been your favorite Peachy memory so far? It could be anything. It could be in game, out of game, but like something that's happened since the org has been around.
See, there's been so many memories. I cannot believe the org has only been about like 7 months. Like, I find that crazy to believe. I feel like I've been here for like 3 years. It's probably showing my age again and how much I do. But I think just in general, probably the Peachy meetups. So we've done 2, like we did the Manchester one and the Milton Keynes one, but just seeing how down to earth people can be. Like, I'm outing myself here, but I used to be like such a unsociable person. I'm really shy in person. You probably won't believe it. Liv is like I'll say it because she said it, my duo for that, because like she brings out the best person in me because I used to be so unsociable and I wouldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
And Liv used to just like push me like, shall we do this? Shall we do that? But I think being able to go to a meetup like that with like 18 people, it's just insane, and everyone's so nice and just gets on so well. So I just think the community side in it in general is probably what I would go off.
That's good. Sorry, I'm looking at my other monitor right now because it's got some intel for you. Misfits have just won the first map, and Liv has just dropped a 2 KD with almost 3 minutes of hill time. So I'm sure you'll be proud of her for putting up that on the Misfits' favorite map. So they'll be rolling into map number 2 because I know like Prad's gonna be like, "What were you looking at when you're looking above?" I'm like, "I'm watching the Misfits game right now. I'm invested in how my team are doing."
We're multitasking.
I think I've always been watching something in the background when I've been talking with everyone. It was CDL with Ludo, it was something else with Liv, and I'm watching our team PG play on the other monitor now. Okay, so let's move into learning a little bit more about you, Jazz. So you've probably, if you've listened to the podcast before, these are going to be some very similar questions to what I've asked them as well. So, what's one thing that fascinates you that you wish you could like spend more time learning about?
Oh, I'm gonna have to say graphics.
Okay.
Just because I love doing graphics. I'm not qualified whatsoever, but I just love making them and like even like learning how to do things on it as well.
Would you say like when you say like would you love to learn like to be able to like draw as well, like have like one of those touch pads to like sketch little things? That's actually a really good idea. I've always been fascinated by people who would be like, oh, I've got this vision of I want to do this, and they just put it on a pad. I'm like, I couldn't even think that at the same time.
Yeah, Liv's always like, how have you just done that? And I was just like, I just did it. There's no but I will give you an insight about me. Like, normally I'm a planner. I like everything to go to plan, and this moment in my life is all up in the air because I've just quit my job to learn to be a graphic designer.
Okay,
hopefully.
Intel. That's I didn't.
It's so rogue from me as well because it's not something I would usually do.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that. So you're hearing it. Well, I mean, by the time the pod goes out, I might be hearing it second, but you've heard it here first right now.
Yes.
Okay, so okay, I mean that's crazy, and I wish you the best because it's an extra workload for you to take on with, as I mentioned earlier on, running an org, being an admin for a league, playing and practicing on a team. It's a lot to take in, but I'm sure you can do it. I have full faith in you.
Hopefully.
Touch wood. Touch wood.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your favorite alcoholic soft and energy drink?
Right. So I do not drink fizzy drinks.
Okay.
I hate the fizz. I'm a weirdo.
Okay.
So I would have to say soft drink, like something like maybe apple juice.
Okay, apple juice. That's fine.
And then I don't drink energy drinks.
Not even powdered ones, like Sneak or anything like that.
Nothing. No.
Okay.
And then what was it? Hot drink.
Alcoholic.
Alcohol's got to be gin. Pink gin and lemonade.
Ooh.
which is the only pop I'll drink, but it has to be with gin.
That's where, I mean, yeah, drinking gin straight would be a bit of a tall ask,
Yeah.
in fairness. So yeah, I don't blame you with that one. Okay.
But I religiously live off coffee and water. So
Oh, no,
it's not
that's
very
fair.
exciting.
That's one thing I've been trying so badly to move into, is just move away, because I love Cherry Max. I just love the stuff, and like I'm addicted to White Monster, Ultra Monster, but I've been trying to like move away from it. I just can't. I think I'm just like sat now.
Quite addictive. It's the same as me with coffee, though.
That's true. Yeah, that is very true. I think I'm at a stage now in my life where like it's been years. Why change? You just commit to it now. You may as well. You may as well. Okay, so guilty purchase. If you could buy anything that you wanted right now, what would it be?
I don't even need to think about this. A PC.
PC? Okay.
I need one.
top spec, top of the range PC. Got it. That makes that makes sense, especially if you're going to be doing graphic work on there as well. That's a sensible choice. Okay, cool. Favorite band or artist and favorite song?
Oh. I don't really have like a favorite artist or something. I really like music, so I'll listen to absolutely anything. Don't even know if I could pick. I could pick a favorite song at the minute, which would probably be "Stargazing" by Miles Smith.
Right. Okay.
But I couldn't pick a band or artist. I don't think.
Just kind of a fan of everything,
really.
in a way.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll listen to anything.
That's fair. I'm the same. Like I have songs and people that I like, but I wouldn't say like they're my favorite, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. No worries. Favorite food.
I'm gonna have to go with Liv and say pasta.
Okay, I'm gonna delve deeper into this. What pasta?
See, my absolute favorite would probably be lasagna.
Okay.
But carbonara second.
Ooh.
And then I'll be biased and say my pasta that I make Liv that she mentioned is really good.
Okay. I mean, carbonara is up there, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
that choice right there. So that's fine.
You can't beat that.
What's the one thing that you can't live without?
Oh.
Or you can, if there's too many, I'll let you have 3.
3 things.
Yeah.
Right. I am going with my phone.
Yeah.
It's hard to choose from 3.
Yeah, it's almost like if you're stuck on a desert island, what 3 things would I really
Yeah.
want with me?
Does it have to be items or people too?
It's got to be items.
Items, okay. I would say my Xbox for now because I don't have a PC.
Okay.
And then
Console host makes sense, right? Yeah. Okay.
yeah, shocking. Oh, I can't think of a third. Maybe something that will play music because I love music. So
okay, like a CD player, radio,
yeah,
those lines.
something like that.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. I remember one time I asked my dad that question, and he's like one of these people that like picks holes in everything. And I was like,
yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, well, do I say food because you'll need food? Or...
I was like, Dad, if you were stuck on a desert island, what would you like, what would you have with you? And he was just like, oh, power supply, because you gotta have power to power everything. I was like,
well, that's where my brain first went, and I'm like,
I was like, what? I was just like, right, okay, you're just instantly taking the fun out of this. It's like I remember watching Lost, and like I don't know if anyone's seen Lost with like the.
I've seen Lost, yeah.
Like, it's like when they first find the bunker, and he's just like, they wouldn't have power in there this day and age. I'm like,
yeah, no.
Like, come on, Dad. It's a TV show. It's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be
Say
realistic.
something. The ending of Lost was so like disappointing.
Oh, there's so many shows. Did you know what? Like, right, I was going to go into something else, but we'll talk about shows that are disappointing. There are so many shows that just have such a disappointing ending these days.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Lost was one of them. Like Lost just had. I remember watching Lost, and I was so enthralled in it. I was just like, oh my god, like what's happening next? Like how would you explain this mystery? Blah blah blah. And then it just ended, and I was like, eh.
And it was all a dream, wasn't it? In the end.
Kind of, like they all end up in like purgatory or something along those lines. They didn't. I can't remember the exact name, but I remember feeling bitterly disappointed. Same as Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones had this suspense, and the final season was just kind of like, really?
Yeah, I could never get into Game of Thrones. I tried it so many times.
I always say, because I used to work for Sky, and like always used to say to people, like, it's amazing. You just got to get through the first like season and a half. Because the issue they did, because they wanted to like showcase so many different characters in Game of Thrones, they just gave everyone like 5 to 10 minutes here and there, and like you just swapping around so many people trying to remember who everyone is. But like once you kind of like realize who's who, which house they belong to, and what they're trying to do with each other, you're kind of like, oh, okay, this makes a bit more sense, and they get a bit more time on screen, and then that's how it got, in my eyes, better and more easier to understand. But everyone gave up in like the first season, or I feel like a lot of people did, because they were just like, this is just too much. This is just too much taking.
I think that was the same as me. I just didn't have a clue what was going on, and I could never grasp it.
Oh yeah, I mean, that makes perfect sense. Like I said, you're not the only one, and like I said, if you're going to get back into it, Jazz, just watch the first like 7 series and then stop, because it's not worth it for the 8th. It really isn't.
Well, now you've told me that, I won't try again.
But yeah, there's so many that have ended disappointingly. I'm just like, I've wasted so many years watching this just to be left disappointed, and I'm just like,
yeah,
makes me so sad. But anyway, we move on. So we're moving on to the final segment of the pod, which is the rapid fire questions. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
I'm just taking a sip of Cherry Max myself, just so I can get ready to this. So I have 15 questions for you. There will be a leaderboard, and you will be placed on it. I'm going to leave that in the hands of our capable editor to see where you end up on it and your time. So. Final time. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I need you to read these quick, Supah.
I will.
I need to win.
I will do my best. Okay. All right. Okay. Here we go. Ready? All right. Okay. Money or happiness?
Happiness.
Cats or dogs?
Cats or dogs?
Yeah.
Neither.
Morning or evening?
Morning.
Dream job or win lottery?
Win the lottery.
Night in or night out?
Night in.
Hot or cold?
Cold.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
No.
Apple or Android?
Android.
Chips or onion rings?
Chips.
Tattoos or piercings?
Piercings.
TikTok or Twitter?
TikTok.
Books or movies?
Books.
Being early or late?
Early.
Have spaghetti arms or jelly legs?
Spaghetti arms.
Okay, there we go.
That one threw me off a bit then.
Thing is though, there's only so many questions I can ask to say like people before like I have to start like reusing them. So
yeah,
I have to start putting some random ones in there. So I'll leave that in the capable hands of our editor to find out what your time was and see where you come in on the leaderboard. And that pretty much brings us to the end of the podcast. Bit of a short one this week, because I think although you've delved into like a lot of your side of Peachy, Ludo and Liv have already kind of like covered a lot of it as well. So
yeah,
you're like, you do want to like repeat what they say, which is completely understandable, but it's nice to see what gaps that you filled in that from your point of view that from those two as well. So the plan is going forward, we want to try and get some of the captains of Peachy on the pod as well to see how their seasons are going, what things that are upcoming with them as well. Is there anything that you'd like to see on the pod as well, Jazz? Anything that you'd be like, oh yeah, that'd be really cool?
I think just general players in general, because I feel like as much as like I talk to every single person in this org, it's nice to hear back like people's experiences in the org as well, because we don't generally get that feedback, and it is good to hear.
We can call this Supah's safe space, where you can say anything you want here and not be judged. It's fine. All right, cool. That's because I think the captains is one of the things that I want to get on, just to see from captain to captain, like how they prep for their season, how the season's going. But like I say, getting some other people, some of the players on board as well, which would be really good to see like how their seasons are going. Like there's a few people that are competing for the first time, a few people who've been competing for a few years, so there'd be quite an interesting difference to see what it is between those different people, for example.
Yeah, definitely. I think that'll be good.
Brilliant. Okay, well, Jazz, thank you very much for hanging out with me this evening. You can go back and support Liv playing for Misfits. They're currently Unfortunately, down 4-1 in S&D, but that's a different story. Tune in next week for where we will have someone on the pod. I will leave that up to me, I guess, to find out who that'll be. But someone will be here, and we'll delve into some more Peachy stories. So again, thank you for being here, guys. I hope you have a great evening. Take care.